Hi, my name is Ike Darius. I'm a mortgage loan originator, a mortgage instructor, and a lifelong real estate investor. In this channel, I will show you how to build wealth using real estate with actually no money down. Yes, you can build wealth using real estate with no money down. Anyway, subscribe to this channel, like the page, turn on the bell so you can be notified whenever I'm on, and also visit my mortgage school, which is abmortgageschool.com. abmortgageschool.com. Thank you. Hi again. My name is Ike Darius. Welcome to my channel. If you've been following me, I have been speaking about how you can buy your first home with no money down. And I have listed a bunch of ways you can get the cash to buy your house. First, as down payments, as assistance, and also for the closing cost, because many of the programs that I mentioned, like the VA, USDA, let's say USDA, and loans, not loans, assistance from your county, from your state, from the city that you live. Maybe the cash that they give you is not enough to cover the ground payment and the closing costs. So you might have to find extra money in order to buy the house. Remember, the down payment is only part of the cost of buying a home. You need to have closing costs. As I mentioned before, closing costs can even be higher. The closing costs can even be higher than the down payment. The down payment on an FHA loan is 3.5%, and the closing costs in certain places that you might live is probably more than that, even 4% sometimes. So you have to find a source for your closing cost. Now, I mentioned before that you can find closing costs in many places. I mentioned that you can save the money. Yes, you can save the funds, and I explained how you can do that. I explained that you can participate in a SUSU funds. I said in my community we use SUSU fund or partnership. If you're not familiar with this term, you can go back to my past videos, and that explains it even more. In order to save money, you can save $100 a week until you save enough to put down on a property. And also you can get a gift. You can get a gift from your parents, for a relative, in order to buy the house. You can get seller concession. You can get seller concession. The seller can help you with the closing cost. FHA allows that the seller can contribute up to 6%. Up to 6% of the sales price, meaning that if you buy a house for $200,000, the seller can legally contribute up to $12,000 towards your closing costs. You can always get that, and most realtors get that help for you. So it's to help with the closing costs. You also can get a realtor concession. The realtor can help you with your closing costs. If you short of funds, the realtor can help you, and that's legal. And also, you can become a realtor because realtors get paid a commission. You can use that commission towards your closing costs, and you can get lender credit. Lender credit, I explained before. It's you might get a little higher interest rate, but the banks gives you back cash to help you with the closing costs. So those are the sources for down payment and the closing costs. But now that you have secured the down payment and the closing costs, you know where to go. You know how to get it. But can you actually buy? See? So now you're armed with this knowledge, but can you actually buy? What makes me capable of owning a home, really? So in order for you to qualify for a home, you have to make enough income, and you have to have a decent credit. So you also need cash, but we have already establish where you can get the help for the cash. But let's see, do you have enough income to buy it? But my calculation is that if you making enough money, if you're making enough money to buy a house, uh, how do I determine that you make enough money to qualify for a certain home? Let's say you're a buyer and you call me and you wanted to know how much home can you buy? You know, how much would you qualify for? The first question I'll be asking you, what is your monthly income? Usually you may not know what your monthly income is, but everybody knows how much they make per hour. And also everybody probably knows how much they make per year. But if you're not too sure, if you are not too sure, you can at least you know how much you make per hour. So what I do? If you tell me that you make $20 per hour, I said okay, $20 per hour. That's 20 times 40 hours per week. I also asked you, do you work 40 hours? Because a lot of people work for $20 an hour, but they do not work 40 hours. So I have to ask to make sure 40 hours are okay. And then that times 52 weeks, that equals $41,600 a year divided by 12, and we call 3466. So you make 3466. That's the monthly income. But now that I determine your monthly income, I need to know how much of that can be used towards the purchase of the home. Because remember, that amount that you make is before taxes. This is before taxes. And the bank says that you have to eat. And see, you have to put gas in your car. You have to buy clothes. There are so many things that you need to do that are not part of the housing itself. So they cannot give you credit for the whole thing. So what the bank do, they let you use a percentage of that. Now, if I'm out there, I'm on my phone, I'm not near a computer, and someone calls me and said they want to buy a house, and they say they make $20 an hour, I determine that their monthly income is $3,500 a month. So I have a rule of thumb that I use. I don't have to use it all the time, because if I'm near a computer, I can calculate that because there's a system to do it. But if I'm out there and I need to have an idea whether or not I'm wasting my time, so this is what I do. I multiply the monthly income by 45%. So it's 3466 times 0.45. And that gives me 1560. 1560 represent the maximum that your debt can be, including the new mortgage. If you were to buy a house and you're going to pay the mortgage, and you also have a car payment, you have credit card bills, you also have student loans, all this have to be deducted. All those things have to be deducted from this. Let me say that again. You make about $3,500 a month, and you want to know how much can you qualify for, what the maximum monthly payment can be, what your maximum monthly payment can be. Your maximum monthly payment can be 1560. This is my formula, okay? And it works for me. You can try it. It works, okay? 45% of your income is 1560. 1560 represent all your debts, which with what they call the back end ratio, which I'm gonna have a show on that, meaning to explain to you the meaning of the front end ratio and the back end ratio. I will show you all that. But for now, let's say the 1560 is the maximum your debts can be. Now the next question I asked, do you have any debts? No. The very next question that I ask is, do you have any other income? See, I make that mistake all the time. When I was young and doing mortgage, and usually the person comes to me and tell me that they want to buy a home, I only focus on the income that they make from their job. I usually forget that people have other cash that comes to them, other forms of income, like child support, alimony, or social security. You know, there are so many, or foster care. There are so many other income that the person can have, but if you don't ask, you may not know, and the person may not even know if they can use that money towards the purchase of a home. And then there I go saying that, hey, your maximum payment, it cannot be more, including all your debts, cannot be more than 1560. And based on the prices of the homes in your area, you can't qualify. You know, and the person just left me, go someplace else to see another broker, and the broker happened to ask, oh yeah, I see that you make such and such amount, but do you have any other extra income that's coming in? Oh yeah, I have social security. It makes a difference. Oh yeah, I have child support. It makes a difference. You know, I have other income that's coming. It makes a difference. So I have to ask the question. But if you're trying to pre-qualify yourself, so make sure if you have any other income beside your income from your job, you need to add it to it. In this case, I assume this person does not have any extra income. They only make 1560. If you make 1560 a month, not a month, 45% of that monthly income is 1560. Believe me, trust me. This is accurate. This is accurate. It's a rule of thumb. I made it up, and it works. When I plug it in the system, it works all the time. So yeah, you can trust this. Okay, you can trust this. Now, what I do, and then I ask, do you have a car payment? Oh yeah, yes, I do have a car payment. Well, how much it is? It's $300. And I said, minus $300 equal now $1,260. Meaning that your mortgage, the next mortgage you're going to have, the proposed mortgage you're going to have, cannot be more than $1,260. Oh, do you have student loans? Yes, I have student loans. Hey, how much the payments are? The payment I'm making is about maybe $200 a month. I have to take it out. Minus 200. I got $1,000. That's it. It equals $1,000. So really, can you buy a house for $1,000? Yes. Maybe in some areas in this country, yes, where maybe you can get a mortgage for $1,000. But where I live, I always base things on where I live. If you lived here in Orlando, where I live, you will be very hard pressed to find a house here where your mortgage will be $1,000. So if it's $1,000, $1,060, most likely you will not be able to buy by yourself. Then that's when I ask, do you have a cosigner? Can your husband, can your children, can your wife sign the mortgage with you? You know, if you don't have a cosigner, I'll help you. See, it's the same thing with you. If you live here in Orlando, where the medium prices, because lately the mortgages that I've been doing, the prices have been ranging in around $275,000 to maybe $300,000. And if you have a sales price like that, it doesn't matter how low the interest rate is, your mortgage payment will be at least $1,500 and up. You see, your mortgage payment will be $1,500, $1,600 and up. And if your bottom line is only $1,000, you cannot buy. And what I always ask as well, what area you're looking for, because certain areas the prices of the homes are more expensive, and most likely you'll find someone who wants to live in the better neighborhood. Yeah, you cannot blame them. In the better neighborhood, the price of the homes are much higher. You see, so if you tell me where you want to live, I normally have an idea how much the prices of the homes are going for in those areas, and I automatically know that you can't find a mortgage payment for 1,000. So I say, you know what? Maybe you need to find a cosigner. It's just the same thing that you can do for yourself. Find out how much you're making a month. How much is your monthly payment? If your monthly payment is, let's say, 3,600, then what you do again, you multiply that by 45%. Whatever is left has to be your total debt. It will include the proposed mortgage, meaning that if you buy a house, the payment will be included in there, and plus all your debts. Now, if within that $1,600 you have a car payment, as we just did, of $300, you have to take it away from that. Whatever is left is your maximum mortgage payment. In our case, we deducted some student loans, we deducted a car payment, and we found out that you only qualify for $1,000. So you know offhand that you cannot buy. So imagine that you've been thinking about buying a home for a long time. You've been saving, or you have found the sources for down payment, and then you're ready to go. You pumped up. You said, "Oh my God!" And in 2021, I will buy a home because I see where I can get the down payment, and I'm ready to go. And when it comes time to buy, when you go to a broker, they analyze the situation. They say, you know what? You only qualify for $1,000, and the prices of the home right now will not allow you to find anything where your mortgage can be $1,000. I know that can be devastating. But if you can do this by yourself, then you would already know before you even go to a broker. You would already know your situation, and you would already find a way to solve it. You probably get a better job to make more money, or maybe you probably get someone who co-sign with you. Remember, if you're buying an FHA loan, and if you have a family member who can co-sign with you, that family member do not have to live in the same state as you. That family member, that person who's co-signing with you, can live anywhere in the United States, and they can co-sign with you. Just remember that. But you do this calculation yourself and determine whether or not you can buy based on the income that you have right now. Yeah, that's how you do it. And like I said before, if you have the income, the rest is easy. The most important part in buying a house is your income. If you have the income, if let's say the bottom line here was $1,500, and some, don't get me wrong, $1,000 you can get a home in certain areas in this country. But I'm just talking for where I live. Where I live right now, I would be very hard pressed to find any homes for you where your mortgage will be only $1,000. So if someone would come to me and want to buy a house, or if I were in the market to buy a house, and after all my expenses, I only have $1,000 left for mortgage payment, I already know I would not find a home in my area where my mortgage would be. I said to people, if you don't expect a raise, and you can't find anyone to co-sign with you, okay? And the area where you live, the properties are too expensive. Like where I live here, it's too expensive. Move someplace else. Move someplace else. You don't have to stay where the price of the home are so expensive. You don't have to stay where the prices of the home are so expensive. you can move someplace else where it's less expensive. The goal is to have your own home, especially nowadays. People get jobs where they work from home. So that means you can work for a company that is in California and you work from home. You can move to a different state where the prices are lower. Right? You don't have to stay here. You need to get the goal is to get your first home. If you want to get and you want to establish wealth. If you want to establish wealth and you find that it's impossible in the state or the county or the city where you live, then you move to another state where it is possible, and so you can get your first start. You see, you don't have to stay there, but easier said than done. Easier said than done. But the point is, you need to know first how much do you make, and can you qualify for a home in the area that you need it. And the best way to do that is to calculate the income by yourself. Again, you look at your monthly income. With that, you multiply that by 45%. Whatever is left is your total debt. So that means your total debt cannot be more than that. And if you have any debt, you deduct it from it. Whatever is left is the maximum available for a mortgage. In this case, I said the maximum available for someone who's making $3,600 a month, and who has a car payment and some student loan. The maximum left was $1,000, and unfortunately, they would not be able to buy in the city where I live, but they can buy someplace else. All right. So now as far as income is concerned, you can do the calculations yourself and qualify yourself for a loan. Your loan officer would love you. Bye. Stay tuned for the next video. Oh, by the way, visit my website if you want to become a loan officer. Visit my website, abmortgageschool.com. abmortgageschool.com. If you live in Florida, I'll be happy to conduct the class for you. But if you live anywhere else, you can get it online. Okay, go to that website, visit it, abmortgageschool.com. If you live in Florida and you'd like to buy a house, I'd be happy. I'd be honored to do your loan. All right, call me, Ike Darius, 47879-4354, or you can email me, ike@angel-mortgage.com. Okay? ike@angel-mortgage.com. If you like the show, share it and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye.